Good evening. In one unbelievably harrowing statement after another, the parents of nurse Lucy Letby's tiny victims set out before her sentencing what it meant to become parents and then to lose their babies to her wickedness. The statements were heard in silence, broken only by sobbing. But the person they had written them for did not hear them at all. Letby stayed in her cell in the bowels of Manchester Crown Court. What the parents wrote or spoke wasn't evidence. It was the devastating impact of loss, of living with the guilt of trusting her, of struggling not to take their own lives, of wondering what their murdered children would be like now. As the judge put it before he sentenced Letby to die in prison with 14 whole life sentences, you acted in a way that was completely contrary to normal human instincts.
Lucy Letby arrived in court to face her crimes, but she wouldn't face her victims' families. The 33-year-old child murderer refused to leave her cell and refused to listen to the families who bravely described what she took from them. The mother of a baby boy who Letby murdered described the chilling truth about how the former nurse dressed him after she killed him. She said, "Lucy bathed him, an action I deeply regret, and dressed him in a woolen gown. He was buried in that gown, a gift from the unit, chosen by Lucy. I feel sickened by the choice we made." Another mother of a girl born prematurely also spoke. Letby killed her when she was 2 days old by injecting air into her veins. She described what Letby took from her family. Clutching a small teddy in her hands, she said her daughter's ashes were buried in a tiny box on her actual due date. My arms, my heart, my life felt so painfully empty. And the mother of a baby boy who Letby murdered shared how she felt when she first saw her child. It was like nothing I'd experienced before, the way he smelled, my tiny firstborn son. She went on to say how she will never forget the touch of his hand and how every day she used to wear his hand and footprints in a necklace until she heard Lucy Letby had been arrested because it was Letby who took the prints. For years she couldn't wear this memory of her son until now that she has justice for her child. Letby always denied every charge she faced. Instead, she claimed she was bullied by doctors and used as a scapegoat for poor care on the unit.
Lucy, is it? Yes.
In a trial that lasted 10 months, it took the jury more than 110 hours to reach their verdicts. Letby is guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder 6 others in what the judge described as cruel, calculated and cynical attacks. For sentencing, he addressed the court as if she was in the dock.
You acted in a way that was completely contrary to the normal human instincts of nurturing and caring for babies, and in gross breach of the trust that all citizens place in those who work in the medical and caring professions.
The parents of twin boys say they can in some ways now move on. Letby attempted to murder one of their sons by poisoning them with insulin and his brother by injecting him with air.
It provides a bit of closure, not completely, but at least a bit of closure that they got the right person and she's going to be punished for it. But it's not going to do justice no matter what. She's taken lives. She's tried to take other babies' lives. So whatever sentence she gets is not going to be enough.
Today was, for some parents, the first time they shared how they felt in hospital along these corridors when their babies were attacked. One mother described how she walked in on Letby murdering her son, but left him alone with her because she was a nurse and she trusted her. She and others shared how they now live with their own guilt and how they are traumatised that the person they trusted to care for their babies betrayed them in the most brutal way. But Letby used her position to manipulate everyone around her so she could carry out her sadistic and malevolent acts. Escorted from court, Letby will never leave prison, now serving a whole life sentence, a serial killer who deliberately inflicted pain on the most vulnerable babies. Sangeeta Lal, News at 10. Manchester.